Okay, we're live. We are live here. All right, that's good. Okay, now that we're live, just gotta wait. I already poured myself some carbonated water and drink. Already stopped by the clubhouse and got my chewy snack. It helps. I did eat breakfast today. However, I did eat breakfast today, so having this new chewy snack is nice. Not required, but it is nice. Hey, if anybody's in the chat, go ahead and chat it up. But today we're gonna talk about Bitcoin, because if you've seen, I'm sorry I have to say I don't remember you, William Overlander. I apologize. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. Any eye candy here today? Well, there's two old ladies, which I don't think you want to see. It's a Monday, and typically nobody comes out here on a Monday, and it's overcast, and the water's still cold. So, well, here's some eye candy. I think this is good eye candy. Jog my memory, William. Where did we meet? Do we know each other? Tell me about it. Anyways, let me get a sip of carbonated water. I already poured some ASMR here. I forgot to bring the spoon. Again, I'm gonna have to use my finger. I wasn't able to get much syrup this time. You were test driving the red bike last year on a video. Okay, did we meet at the in Houston? Is that you? Which one are you? Are you the guy from Canada? Or are you the guy from Seattle? I did ride my bike here. Let me show you real quick. I did ride my bike here. There it is. Original 2018, nothing modified other than replace the front fork because I crashed and flipped over the handlebar, and the front fork was bent at the stem. Other than some brake pads, original controller, original batteries, although I have 4 batteries. I have 3 rad power bikes, and I bought an extra battery. And the bag, all of the accessories except for the machete is that's mine. I bought that. I added that on there. The grips come from Rad. The mirror and the camera mounts are all from Amazon. But most of it's from Rad, and it still works. So, well, thanks, William. I guess if that's you. Apologize if I didn't remember you. Oh, William. Okay, that William. I'm sorry. You're talking about the you're referring to the guy from California. Okay. I apologize. How's your coaching doing? I think from last time we had a conversation, you were a coach, some kind of coach, speech coach, I think. I didn't really ask. Didn't want to bother you. Oh, from Tuska, Oklahoma. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining the chat, joining the conversation. Today's a little different. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin. I don't know if you know anything about Bitcoin. I was really into it. I'm not into it anymore. You know, the drawback of cryptocurrencies is it's unregulated, and yeah, essentially unregulated unless you go to a regulated market. But for the most part, if you want to deal with Bitcoin, the actual cryptocurrency, like you hold the private keys, it's an unregulated market, and there's just so much scams going on. It really is the Wild West. No, they're cryptocurrencies. They're digital cryptocurrencies, cryptographic. It's not even a real coin. It's just cryptography, and it just keeps track of a unit, a measure of unit, over a series of computers that are networked together, and they all have to sync together, and that's how everything's verified. So it's interesting. Not a real coin. I know you see a lot of pictures of coins, but you can use it in real life. You can do transactions, you can barter, you can use it to keep up with inflation. It's definitely kept up with inflation. Back when I started, I think the price peaked around 300. Oh, you collect real coins. Okay, that's interesting. The only kind of, no, I don't have any real coins. My wife has a coin collection. When the quarters start having like each state motto and little thing on the back of a quarter, when that first came out back in, I think, early 2000, late 1990s, early 2000, my wife bought the plaque, or not a plaque, board, and it had each state on it, and you put a quarter. Every time we found one, we put a quarter in each state. I think she still has that. They're not in mint condition. Some of them were harder to find than others, but that's the only kind of coin collection I have. Well, thanks, William. Google the design values. Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about cryptocurrencies. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin because the price has gone up, and I'll be enjoying my wonderful, wonderful homemade soda, some ASMR. It's not as carbonated. I got to refill on the carbonation. Got to get some CO2 from Walmart. The first batch always goes so fast. Let me get some more. But in this episode, I'm going to talk about, or this live stream, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin here. It's probably a hot topic. It's gone up in price. I can see why. There's massive inflation. There's sanctions. It's interesting because I think we're going into a super cycle. I really believe that it's a super cycle this time. Usually the price would go down. Let me see if I could pop up a chart here. Yeah, I'll try to, I don't know if you can see that or not. I got the EMA on it. And that's the current price right now for 47,000, almost 48. But if you look at that EMA, if you look at those, that is the beginning of, I think, a upward trend. Usually it would start tanking. I know you pull out a little bit more. I don't know if you can see that. Usually it would start tanking from there, but it doesn't. Usually it would just tank really hard. This time, inflation and sanctions and just monetary controls, I think a lot of people are catching on. Even, I bet you the Russians are catching on. That's why Biden probably had a task force into regulating cryptocurrencies. Russia is catching on to this. China probably. It's hard to control money, especially if, the US dollar. It's hard to control that now. Money is not a thing that is a monopoly or hegemony for the United States anymore. And the trucker convoy, when what was it? What was that? GoFundMe freezed all the truckers' assets, and they were going to donate it to whoever they thought worthy of donation. So I think cryptocurrencies are finally coming truly mainstream. In some ways it is. In the financial markets, it's become It's become an investment tool. So, which is nice. I wish it would have been all that when I was really heavy into it. Now that I'm not heavy into it anymore, it's you know, and once you know it, when you're not involved anymore, it takes off like crazy. It did, well, at the time, it did take off when I got involved. Like I said, when I first got involved, it was like $300, then it went down to 100, and then it went up to 1,000, then it went down to 500 or something ridiculously, back to 300, and then it went back up to went up to almost to 10,000. I think it did go to 10,000, and we're all excited. Everybody was all excited. Now we're just now it's 43,000, and I have nothing to show for. It's kind of sad, really. Anyways, so yeah, I think based on those simple two lines, the EMA on bitcoinwisdom.io. I think Bitcoin Wisdom closed down, or I don't know what happened. Bitcoin Wisdom closed down, but based on that, bitcoinwisdom.io, that's all I use to determine whether it's an uptrend or a downtrend. You can see how it's, if you keep it simple, it just makes the whole decision process a lot easier. So that's kind of what I do. And I'm looking at this part right here, and it looks like an uptrend if that white line can pass over that yellow line. I think one's a 10-day, the other's a 10-day estimated moving average or weighted moving average, and that's the white line, and the yellow line is probably the 30-day. Snap-on backwards is no parts of backward. That's very funny. I never noticed that. I never noticed that because I don't have any snap-on tools. This old helmet, welcome. Well, Steve Mustang was here. Okay. No, there is no eye candy today other than two old ladies and they left, and this is the only eye candy you're going to be seeing today. Oh, strap-on. I thought you said snap-on, like the tools. So snap-on spelled backwards is no parts. That is very true. This old helmet, that is very, very true. So now what was I saying? Oh yeah, the moving average. I think it's let's go back to the moving average here. That's where I left off. Yeah, that moving average there, 30-day, the yellow line's 30-day, I think, weighted or estimated moving average. That's all I use, and right now it's looking really good. I think, was it last week I mentioned when Ken Bozak was here, he gave me a donation, sent me a super chat of $4.20, typical Ken. I mentioned, yeah, the price looks like it's moving up, and if it does, if it pops, if we're in another if we are in the super cycle, it's possible that the price can go up to 10,000. I mean, I'm not joking. It is very possible. Eventually, I think after everything is mined, well, I don't know how long. By the time everything is mined, I'll be dead. But we're almost at 90% of the Bitcoins being mined, so it makes sense to the price and everything that's going on, current events, inflation, sanctions. We're on a precipice of World War III. That this price of Bitcoin can go up. I mean, what other, what do they call it? Storage of value. It's been called a lot of things: a currency, storage of value, investment tool, commodity, But if you can imagine, war is going to break out, and pretty soon they're going to be taxing people to raise money for a war. Where do you know, somebody somewhere around the world is going to have a computer running, right, keeping track of all the transactions. Somebody somewhere around the world is. So your money is going to be somewhat safe. I wouldn't, maybe not safe, but I think there's a really good chance that people are scared and they're worried about inflation. They're worried about global war, and putting some money into a digital asset, cryptocurrency, where no one can touch it but you. And yeah, you can go anywhere. You can go to another country, you can flee, you can run, you can hide, come out when it's safe, and at least you'll have something left of your former life than having a bombed out house, a bombed out city, or being taxed to death, you know, taking your property seized, your assets seized, you know. So yes, William, it's very interesting. Oh, EB Bud, welcome to the channel. Any taxes? Yes, there are taxes. Yeah, that's probably why a lot of people won't get involved, is the burden of tax is heavy on the owner. But if you can keep up with it, you know, for people who trade a lot, it's a burden. But if you're just a buy and hold type of guy, you buy it and you hold it, you don't pay the taxes until you start selling it, or until you cash out anyways, or trade it. So if you're a buy and hold type of person, it's probably not much of a burden. But if you're like a person who trades a lot, who goes in and out of different cryptocurrencies and in and out of cash and just constantly buys and sell, it is a burden. It is a burden on you. I do have to admit that. So that everything's taxed, especially in a regulated market. If you go to Coinbase, you'll definitely get taxed, or the IRS will definitely know that you bought bitcoins at one price and you sold bitcoins at another price, or any U.S. Exchange. What, Gemini? What's that one? What, the octopus? I forgot. I'm not into it. I mean, I know the brand names. Gemini. Gosh, Coinbase. That's all I know. I don't know too much. But any U.S. exchange, most likely they'll send you an IRS form, or send you some kind of tax information, or you'll be able to, or they're tracking you at least. In those senses, those are regulated markets. But if you go into the unregulated market, I mean, it's hard to, in my opinion, it's hard for any IRS to keep track, because how do you keep track of something that you don't know anything about? You know, it's an unregulated market. It's like me going to the store and buying cigarettes with cash, like, and then I sell the cigarettes, you know, for $1 million in cash, right? How would the IRS know that? You know, so in that regard, it's very difficult to tax. It's highly dependent on the user to report the taxes on that. But you know, it depends how you do it. There's a lot of people who are in the unregulated market. A lot of people who, if you trade peer-to-peer, that is 100% unregulated. 100% unregulated, you know. It also leaves you open to a lot of scams. So that's probably one of the reasons why I left. Just too many scammers. A lot of people like just scam way too much because it's unregulated, right? You don't know, sometimes you don't even know who you're dealing with. You know, meeting face to face is kind of sketchy sometimes, especially if you trade in large amounts. You could get robbed. Um, you know, there's the $5 wrench hack. Somebody has a $5 wrench and they'll beat you until you give them all your coins. That's the wrench hack. You know, so, but there are some rewards to it. There are some rewards in the peer-to-peer market. It's very similar to like gold. I don't know anything about gold, but you know, there's a buying price, there's a selling price. The buying price is always higher than the, I guess, a quote-unquote spot price, and the selling price is lower than the spot price. You know, there's like a spread. That's kind of how it is with Bitcoin and peer-to-peer. But Bitcoin's up. Let me take a look at the chart one more time. See how much it's up. Yeah, it's looking really, really good. You know, I'm gonna hold it up this way. Maybe you could see a little bit better. Yeah. This is a weekly chart. This is on a weekly. So this trend looks really good. This is not like a daily or an hourly chart. This is a weekly chart. And yeah, it is looking really good. Let me see if I could put it up this way. If that's any better. Anyways, in a couple more weeks, we'll get a confirmation on whether, I would say like maybe another month. The thing about using weekly charts and getting confirmation is, you know, you don't know it until it actually happens. And then only after it happens, then it's obvious, right? It's so obvious. That's the thing about technical analysis. When it's happening, you know, you're taking a gamble. You're just taking an educated guess. Some experience helps. Some past experience, it really helps. But otherwise, you're just taking an educated guess. If you want to get a confirmation, you have to wait at least several more weeks, maybe another month, but by then it'll probably be way too obvious, way too late. The price will probably gone up another 10 to 20,000, and then it'll be like obvious, like, yeah, of course. You know, that's the thing about trading, like online trading at exchanges, being a trader in that way, not trading peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer is very different. No matter what, if the price goes down, you have to buy and you have to sell. You're buying and selling at the spread, and it's a totally different market. So you're constantly buying, you're constantly selling, and you're making you're not necessarily making money. You're making Bitcoin. That's what you're doing. You're making Bitcoin. You're trying to get more Bitcoin. You're not trying to get more money per se, because you know, and that's, unfortunately, I wish I knew that. Well, I did know that, but you know, you have to stay in the game. That's the thing about it. You have to stay in the game long enough and not take risk, or don't put yourself out there where you're taking all the risk. You know, you have to mitigate some of that risk, especially when you're doing peer-to-peer. But you're looking for to make gains in Bitcoin. You're looking to acquire Bitcoin is what you really want, because you want to play the long game. And then I wish I did, but you know, my inexperience got the better of me, and hopefully my inexperience will help you not make that same mistake. Because if you play the long game, man, playing the long game, you would have been rich. You would have been, you know, very rich. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't play the long game. You know, they play the short game. Okay, William, you're asking me how many miles on the bikes. I'm over 3,000, 1,500 each. Oh, that's a good question. Let me see. I think I got, I probably have about 4,000, maybe 5,000 on the Rad Rover. That's the bike I ride the most. And from my house to the clubhouse and back is about 12 to 13 miles, maybe 14 miles you know, every time I do that, and I do that very often. I don't go too far anymore since the pandemic. I used to go to, I used to take a trail that would take me through the bayou, Braze Bayou, and then the bayou and all the way into downtown Houston. And there was a restaurant that had a brunch. You know, I would go there and eat brunch. Man, it was really good. They don't do brunch anymore, unfortunately, because of the pandemic. They serve lunch and dinner. I think they serve lunch and dinner, but they don't do the brunch anymore. But the brunch was, oh, it was so good. That was maybe a 60 to 80 mile round trip, depending on what path I took. And I would take 2 batteries. The bird sighting. You see a bird? Yeah, there's some birds out here. If you want to see some birds, I gotta, let me see if I could zoom over here. I could try to turn this a little bit. Let me see if I could turn this a little bit and show you. There's a, look like a pelican. There's a pelican right there. I don't know if you see that, like right, I don't know if you see it. Do you, right there, you see there's a pelican looking bird over there. There's some ducks to the left. There's some ducks to the left here. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Yeah, right there. There's some ducks over there to the left. And the water looks nice and blue today. They dye the water blue here. Or it's kind of like a turquoise green, depends how, when the sun hits it. So there's some ducks walking around over there. Yeah, I'm out here just in, I'm not gonna go in the water. It's still too cold. The water's like maybe 65 degrees now, or 60 degrees. You're welcome, William. Sometimes I'll see like maybe a mockingbird. There might be a mockingbird here and there. So, but yeah, this is a nice place. There's other places that you could I could probably see more different types of birds. Warbird. What else? Maybe different types of pigeons, cardinals. I don't see any, I guess you could call them blue jays. That's too far south. But I do see jay type of birds, or blue jay type of birds here. I might see some, because I'm near a lake, I'll see some shorebirds, some waterfowl. Also, but when I go into the forest, that's when I see all the different, more smaller, colorful birds. And then when I go along the levee, I think they'll see the egrets and more shorebirds and well, different, and the herons and everything. I've only seen a heron one time catch a fish out of the water, but supposedly herons, they'll catch anything: rats, mice, fish, snakes. I'm in the right now I'm in a shaded area. I'll try to tilt up if I can. Let me see if I can tilt up to show you the shaded area. you can see the shade. So it's just a shaded area. I prefer to be in the shade because I don't want to be in the hot sun doing a live stream. So let's take a little break, shall we? Let's eat a little chewy granola bar. I can start hearing the landscaping around. Another thing is during the afternoons like this, the landscape starts coming around. Nobody likes that. Yes, I still do wear the buff in the spring, in the summer, in the fall, in the winter. In the spring, the buff is good because the bugs start coming out. The gnats are out in the streets, and the sun starts coming out. So I don't want to get my face all burned, so I wear the buff. And then summer, it is definitely very helpful in the summer because I will the humidity level is just off the charts. I could just sit here and I would just sweat. So what the buff does, it helps evaporate the sweat a lot better on my face, so I'm not just dripping sweat off my face and then hitting the camera. So it does help, especially when I'm riding the bike and I got some wind. It helps the buff absorb some of that sweat into the buff, and as the wind's hitting me, it's drying faster than if I just had nothing on my face. If I had nothing on my face, the sweat would just drip down, probably hit the camera lens. And it also protects me from the sun. So, because man, you can get out here, you can get burned. And I don't like suntan lotion. I don't like suntan lotion. It's full of chemicals, especially the spray-on ones. Your skin absorbs all the chemicals in it more than, you'll be surprised, more than what the FDA is considered, safe. But having something over your skin to protect you from the sun is better than having nothing. But I'd rather just wear a buff. And then also wind shear, when you're going fast, and also bugs. Spring and summer, bugs, and sometimes leaves or debris, they hit your face. I had one of those, I call them, we call them dumb bugs because they're just a round beetle and they fly, and at a certain time of the year they start flying into your house. They'll hit the wall, bam, bam, bam. Well, they'll be all over the place. I had one hit me right on the right in the face, right at the below my lip on the jaw while I was riding my bike at 25 miles an hour, and it stung. Felt like someone just threw a little piece of pebble or marble right at my chin. It didn't hurt. It just stung. It was just a bug. It doesn't have a lot of weight. But the buff did help a little bit. So yeah, and during the fall I wear it because of the debris, the leaves, and it starts getting cold. And during the winter I wear it because it keeps me warm. Just that little thin layer keeps me warm, and it helps with wind shear. So you get that cold wind hitting your face, man, it just hurts. I'm eating the granola right now. Enjoy the ASMR. Hey, thanks for the 3 likes. I don't know who you guys are, or who you people are, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around too. Yes, William, you. Thanks for sticking around. Appreciate it. I'm almost done with my granola. That's my little morning snack. I did have breakfast though. Normally I don't eat breakfast, but today I was hungry. Normally I would wake up around like 10 or 11 and then ride my bike. But I woke up in the morning. My wife's at work. She goes to the office like today and maybe 2 or 3 other times. So my wife is slowly starting to get to back to work. Yes, this is good. This is good, William. All right, I'm all done. So enough of that ASMR. I'm just enjoying myself here. Let me get a drink. Oh, it's time to make a soda, everybody. Let me play with some filters here. All right. All right, time to make a soda, everybody. All right, gotta open this here. There's my thermal cup. Let's put a little bit of syrup, vanilla syrup. That's my favorite. The clubhouse is watching the syrup now. Apparently some kids came in and started using the whole bottle. They were trying to make a what do you call it? Icicle? Not icicle. What do you call those things? Slushy. They were doing what I'm doing, but they were trying to use the syrup, all the syrup, to put on this and make a little ice cream treat or ice treat. I use carbonated water. Oh yeah, did you hear that? All right, carbonation. Oh, look at that bubble. I forgot I'm using this not to drink out of, to shake out of. Okay, gotta drink it down a little bit. Put this on. All right, this is how I make my little drink without a stirrer. Oh, goodness. There we go. There's already some ice in here. It's soda time, everybody. There we go. Bottoms up, everyone. Oh, that's refreshing. Especially on it's warmer today. It is like 70, 80. It's gonna be in the 80s. The AC kicked on last night. That's how warm it is. We set the air conditioner from heater to AC, and the house kind of warms up at night. The ground absorbs all that heat during the day, and then it, that transfers into the concrete and into the house. or the heat just stays in the house. It gets cooler at night, vice versa, whatever. And so the AC kicked on. So yeah, it's getting hotter. My spring is over. My spring is over. It's pretty much summer right now. All right, back to normal. That was the end of making soda today. Sounds good. Yes, it does. Oh, I've spilled some. Oh, it is good. It is good. Oh, I gotta put the cap back on. I don't want the carbonation to get lost. I got a few more drinks. Get some few more drinks out of this. Yeah, so back to Bitcoin. So, you know, I don't know if I would get back into it. It's really it's hard because I've been out of it so long. I don't know my seller or any miners anymore. It'd be hard to get back in touch with them if they're still in the business, or if they're still in the trade or not. They may be out. You know, a lot of people come and go on a peer-to-peer market. At this point, if I was gonna do anything, I probably won't. I wouldn't be a trader. I would purely be an investor at this point. I would just buy and hold, because I know from this point on it's just gonna skyrocket. I think it's just gonna skyrocket. I mean, there's no reason for it to go down. Mainly because so many people have lost money. Okay, when I say lost money, they lost their private keys. They can't access their Bitcoin, right? So they put money into right the Bitcoin ecosystem, only to never have no, only to never be able to get anything out of it. That money is locked into the ecosystem. It's been transferred into the Bitcoin ecosystem. They're not going to get it out. So that's what I mean. I just don't see how it can go down below a certain level, because a lot of people, unfortunately, our gain, other people's loss, you know, or whatever, have lost their keys, have been scammed, have been when you get scammed, someone's losing and another person's winning. When you lose your private keys, one person's losing, everybody else is winning. So but a lot of people have lost their keys, unfortunately. And so that's the situation. But yeah, if I was gonna do something now, I would just be a buyer. I would just buy and hold, and just sit tight. You know, let everybody else do all of pumping up the price. There's always some. What amazes me is there's always some scammer who comes around trying to scam people, thinking that they're going to get rich by scamming. And when you look at 2020 hindsight, they would have been much richer if they actually just did what they said they were going to, and was able to actually acquire their or make a gain in Bitcoin. They would have been much richer than if they were just scamming, like taking people's Bitcoin and, you know, cashing out somewhere. A lot of people, you'll be surprised, a lot of people don't hold any Bitcoin, or if they do hold Bitcoin, it's just to hold and to sell at some point. Like Tether, they're probably rich in Tether, but they're gonna have to buy in at some point. So yeah, the irony is, if everyone just bought and hold, they would have been much richer, much more wealthier than if they were trying to do all this weird stuff, you know, trading to other cryptocurrencies, and then you know, what a proof of staking, and some weird DAO and cryptocurrency and NFT and just weird nonsense. They're wasting more energy for every time they're doing something else. They're just losing energy. They're losing value every time they move around like that. And in the end, they end up with less than what they would originally had. Another one, Genesis mining. Oh my God, oh, that was so stupid. Cloud mining. God, that was so dumb. You know, people bought Bitcoin, sent it to Genesis mining, right, for cloud, quote unquote, cloud mining, and then received a little bit of Bitcoin in return. That was so dumb. That was a multi-level, marketing scam. That's what that was. Or it was a semi-quasi Ponzi multi-level marketing. A lot of these new, like, I don't know, programs or projects that are coming out, 99% of them, let me rephrase that, 99.999999999% are basically like some form of Ponzi or multi-level marketing, or they start out that way, or they are that way. And in order to get involved, you have to buy Bitcoin, or now maybe you have to buy Ethereum or something. It's just so stupid. Just buy a legitimate cryptocurrency and hold it. And you would have been much richer than, trying to beat the market, because you won't beat the market. If you just buy and hold, okay, you are the market. Okay, if it goes up, you're matching the market, right, with cryptocurrencies. So in order, you're not going to beat Bitcoin. That blows my mind. You're not going to beat Bitcoin. So just buy and hold. That's really, man. If I can go back in time, I would just simply just buy and hold. That's what I would have done, and I would have just, I don't know, just ride my bike for 10 years and then come back. And I'd be super rich, super rich. Anyways, let's see sorry, I was ranting and commenting. Let's see, let's have a look at the price. What is the price right now? Looks like it went up. It's still at 47. I think it's gonna break upwards. It looks like it's gonna break upwards. And yeah, I'm thinking like 100,000, easy. I think, I don't know. You guys let me know. What do you think it's gonna be? Anyways, oh my goodness. I'm almost running out of soda. Let's have a little bit of soda. Oh, that vanilla tastes really good. Unfortunately, sugar-free. Sugar-free vanilla. But it does add flavor to the carbonated water. Sorry, I'm just enjoying outside. Yeah, as soon as it gets hot, like more and more people come out to the pool. It gets a little too crowded for me. Then I don't want to go to the pool anymore. I like it around this time of year. Water's kind of cold. Nobody really wants to come out to the pool. Kids are still in school. 2 more months. My oldest will graduate. We're really looking forward to that. Yeah, can't wait. It just seemed like yesterday I was graduating from high school, and now here I am. You never seem to grow up. You know that? You never seem to grow up. Oh. All right, I'm gonna make one more soda, then I'm gonna end the live stream here. All right, this is the last of my vanilla. Last of my vanilla. Yes, William, I will enjoy. I definitely like it out here. That's why I ride the bike. That's why I come here often. Right now, it's probably the best time. After a while, it gets really, really hot. If I do come here, I'll actually be going in the water. I'll have my compression tights. Oh, filled it too much. Sparkling water by itself is not too bad either. It's just nice to have a little bit of flavor and sweetness to it. But I'm okay with whatchamacallit, just carbonated water. Another thing I like to do is apple juice. If I put in a little bit of apple juice, or half of apple juice and half of carbonated water, it almost looks like beer. All right, gotta mix it. All right, cheers. Oh, that is so refreshing. Sometimes I'll order like pizza and hot wings, have it delivered here. Usually on the weekends. I'll come out here with my kids, maybe the wife, and we'll spend a day out here. Let me see. What'd you say, William? It's a good 52 tooth chair drive, a new chain this Friday on the Rover. Oh, you're getting a new 52 tooth chain drive, as I'm assuming is what you're talking about. Well, good for you. You know, the stock chain that I have, the front chain drive. You know, a lot of people say they can't keep up, and I remember when I first got the Red Rover. Yeah, I couldn't keep up, and it seemed like I was going in a hamster wheel. Yeah, less pedaling, but I can keep up, and it actually helped my legs get bigger, stronger. New drive gear, less pedaling. Yeah, I hear ya. But the one I have is the original one before they got the DNP gear. The Rad Power Bikes upgraded to the DNP gears. But I don't have a problem. I can keep up. It actually helped me get my legs conditioned, and I, my gosh, my family tells me my legs have gotten bigger, and they have. I, they've gotten much bigger. I think I used to be a weakling. Now I'm like, at least my legs, they feel very thick. So I don't even change the drive anymore. I'm not even consider modifying the Rad Rover at all. Now let's take a look at it. Yeah, that's it right there. That's the original drive right here. Yeah, I don't plan on changing the rear drive or the gears, because I've gotten used to it and my legs can keep up. My legs have gotten really stronger, even though I know it's electric bike, but I it's really helped condition my legs. I feel stronger. My legs are definitely stronger. Oh, oh, had a had a bottle. I don't want the bottle to fly away. I don't want to pollute. All right, let's take the bubbles away. Let's take the bubbles away. Oop, I don't want that. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the bike original. I don't want to put any more money. I just want to ride the bike. That's another thing I don't understand is a lot of people buy a new bike and they dump another couple more $1,000s into it. They bought the wrong bike. They should just buy the bike that cost a couple more $1,000s that they really wanted, and then they would have been happy. But then again, some people aren't. Some people never be happy. They just keep upgrading and upgrading and upgrading. Oh, I gotta pick that up. My bottle flew off. So the Rad Wagon is actually faster. Okay, I've ridden the Rad Wagon, and yeah, it might be faster, and I guess that's a good reason for it. It also has a drag. I don't know if you got the newer ones or the older ones. The newer ones, they got the hub motor. The older ones had the direct drive motor, and man, that thing had a drag to it. Once you reach a certain speed, you hit your top speed, even though you're pushing harder and harder, it would seem like it would literally seem like you're putting more effort into it. You might as well just get a regular bike by then. William, you say that the Magnum Ranger and High Bike are made in Germany and are decent. Okay, that's good. Oh, I have a question for you, William. What do you think about that Super 73 C1X? That motorcycle that Super 73 is in concept and trying to get people to put a $73 down payment on. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Would you buy that? I don't know how much it cost. It like literally cost. I think it's going to end up costing like $10,000 because inflation, supply chain issues, shipping containers, the cost of transportation, shipping. I think a lot of that cost is going to depend on how many people want to buy it. If they can get like at least a container, they could probably get the price to go down a little bit more, because a lot of it is going to depend on shipping and large quantity buying of parts to put the motorcycle together. But if they get like half a container, man, that bike's gonna be like 10,000 and up. They don't have enough buyers. I think that's why they're like kind of quasi pre-order, pre-sale, fundraising, kind of style with that Super 73 C1X motorcycle. You say it's interesting, but you're stopping at 4. You got a new one. Oh, if you get a new one, you would get a full suspension e-bike with good gearing. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I mean, I like electric bikes. It's just that, I have one that works and it serves my purpose. And I also have the Rad Mini and the Rad Mini Step Through. And I got those for different reasons. I thought my kids we did use them. My family did use it. But my oldest daughter, she's graduating from high school and she's driving. So every time I say, hey, you want to ride the bike? She's like, hell no. She's like, hell no. She got a car. She's driving. And my youngest is too old for the WeRide Co-Pilot. The maximum weight on that is 75 pounds. She's like 85 pounds now, but she's still too young to ride the electric bike. So we just take a car. So whenever we want to go someplace, we just take a car. So they've kind of, one of my daughters has outgrown riding a bike. The other one has grown out of the WeRide Co-Pilot, but not old enough to ride an electric bike. And so, now at this point we just take the car, fortunately. But another reason I got it was because spare parts, just in case, supply chain issues. I might sell them. Who knows? They're probably worth more used now with a supply chain issue. Anyways, William, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for everyone for the thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed my lovely live stream here. I'm gonna end the video here. Please give me a thumbs up, like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Also consider joining membership. I have e-gift cards for members. They get first dibs. The cancer, perfect. Did it work? I don't understand that. Cancer? I'm not sure what you're saying, William. You're gonna have to clarify. I'll give you a couple more minutes here. I know there's like a few minute lag in the stream here. Well, anyways, thanks, William. Bye. See you later.